other than you pretending to be broke down hoodoo woman in the middle of the woods. No one's saying you can't have a 9 to 5, but you have this whole freaking not, I can't even say gimmick, but just hustle, a whole hustle going.
A different kind of walk too.
Yeah.
She had a Carol Burnett walk. She walking with her ass, man. And a cane.
Welcome back, Fangbangers. So we are here again for episodes 8, 9, and 10 of True Blood. First episode, so entitled "The Fourth Man in the Fire." Let's get into it.
Okay.
So on this particular episode of True Blood, The Fourth Man in the Fire, we have Sookie thinking that Bill is dead.
And she was so hurt about that.
She was walking around there tripping, talking to people crazy, and everything behind her thinking her little cold meat was gone.
And, you know, first time I saw it, I was like, ooh, Eric.
You know,
get you some Eric.
Anytime you put Eric in front of a camera, you know, just can't go wrong. I love watching it. I just do. But she's all distraught. She thinks Bill is dead. But ultimately, within the same episode, she finds out that Bill received her warning. He's actually okay. And they get real nasty in the graveyard. In the dirt.
The man was naked. He had dirt all on his dick. And he putting it all up in. You know, that's what I'm thinking.
This, you know, and when you say getting down and dirty, you think that's going to be hot, right? It's real sexy. There was nothing sexy about that scene. Let me be very clear. I don't know if you experienced the same thing that I experienced when I watched it, but I didn't find anything about that sexy. Nothing. I thought it was absolutely grotesque. Like, you know, one of those situations where it's like, I'm going to write a letter. Y'all should have let this make it to film, but whatever. Yeah, I didn't think it was cute. So that's where we find Sookie in this particular episode getting bust down in the graveyard like a thought. I was like, oh my goodness. And I want to say she let Bill bite her this time again. Well, again, not just this time.
Not on the neck, not on the neck, not on the neck.
Not on the neck. Oh, I got somewhere else I can bite you. Bill, you taste like rigor mortis right now. And you want to do this in the graveyard?
Well, you know, he had to get his energy up.
Among other things. Among other things. So moving around for my least interesting characters. Which is absolutely bizarre. Jason. Jason Dummy Stackhouse.
What is he up to? You know, when you lead it in, you say Jason Dummy Stackhouse. Which subplot are you talking about?
Oh, the absolute idiocracy that is Jason. Oh my goodness. So he finds himself in love with V, and he's searching for more with this psychopath Amy that he's found himself attached to. Like, I absolutely love to hate her character because it's like you just see it ending so badly. Like, if anything really put a microscope on how absolutely much of an imbecile that Jason is, it's when he gets attached to Amy. She is clearly driving the whole relationship.
So what were his warning signs?
You met her in Fantasia. Ding, 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 ding. She is a human. Hold on. Back it up. A seemingly normal-looking white female human in Fantasia.
So you rest your case.
And you can just bang the gavel right there. That's it. You even gotta go any further into the miscellany of things that this girl has gotten into on the first night that you met her. But because of who you are, you just gonna keep it going.
We've got questions and we know you have answers, so make love to our senses in the comments. Drop them down below.
It's like, oh my God. Like, you know, I will say though, she did stop him from getting killed in Fantasia. You know, because he was in there live, like trying to score some V, but oh my God.
Strung out. That's what it was. You know, like he was already strung out and he wasn't thinking straight. He wasn't thinking straight. All he knew was that he was about to have sex with her. That's what he knew. And so that's all he was thinking about. He was thinking with it.
He was, but it's like she guides him into so many horrible decisions, and to the point of vampire napping. You kidnapped, you know what? This poor vampire.
I actually love that scene. I don't know why I did.
I felt bad for Eddie.
He said, "What did it say? Am I gonna have to do something?" He wasn't opposed to it.
He's just stupid. It's just like you don't process or think anything through. You just have a series of just isms. Like, and it's like he got a good nature in him. It's in there, but you are just so impressionable that it's ridiculous.
He's guided by his desires.
Yes.
That's just it. He's guided by his desires.
They kidnapped poor Eddie. I felt so bad for Eddie. You know, Eddie like me, he just want to stay home. He just want to watch TV shows. He ain't trying to hurt nobody. Try to have a little glass of wine, get him a little, you know, every now and then.
From Lafayette. That was okay. So that was the part where I was just like, okay, Eddie, you stupid, because clearly Lafayette only want one thing from you.
It's transactional. If I gotta go ahead and play with your little pepper to get this V, that's what I'm gonna do. But of course, I don't love you. No, if you weren't able to give me V, I still would be over here. But I'm gonna tell you what you want to hear. I felt so bad for him. I was like, oh.
And, you know, oh my god. Okay, and even like his story, I'm gonna say this. His story resonated with me, only in the sense that I've known too many men who later in life just realized who they were. And so his story resonated with me. However, he was much too naive.
And much to his demise, unfortunately, you know, which I was really, really upset with Jason and that little psycho girl for that. But anyway, poor Eddie. So yeah, Jason has become a vampire napper. And I don't know if you can call him a crackhead, but he's hooked on V.
You know what I didn't understand the first time that I saw it? Okay, so like this silver thing is over your head. Okay, good, got it. But you still have your hands, you still have your feet. Yeah, you know, he was trying to take the silver thing off his head, so she grabbed his hands. Okay, but your feet are still free. And he's a vampire. He could have kicked Jason clear across the room.
Both of them. But I just don't think he couldn't want to put up a fight. You know, even as this apex predator, you still, like, your whole nature for you, I guess, for who you are at your core, you're just not a violent human being, and you just didn't try to put up a fight. Couldn't have.
Well,
because you let these two idiots.
I was just about to say next time he go. Next time.
It's not going to be a sequel. It's going to be a finale. And that's going to be that.
But he said she's a psychopath.
Repeatedly. In the other episodes, he repeatedly referred to her as a psychopath, and he was absolutely right. The girl is nuts. And it's like, Jason, okay, you just met her 2 days ago. Y'all living together. All kind of stuff. Making plans.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And it was the way that she just integrated herself at Merlotte's. It was just seamless. It was just like, who does that?
Girl started waiting tables. Oh, well, you seemed a little behind, so.
And Sookie said, what did Sookie say? Sookie said, you seem like a nice girl, but you know Jason is a dog.
Like, that's my brother, but girl, let's see if you make it past 48 hours. So, I don't know. I didn't like Amy's character. Like, she was horrible freaking person.
Yeah, she was a horrible person, but I loved her character. I love the character because she added lunacy.
Yeah, complete lunacy.
It was needed.
She played the part well. Mm-hmm. She played it very well.
Yeah, I give her a nomination for Best Supporting Actress.
Okay.
Yeah, nomination. She got that truck, and she said, "I need it now."
He said, "But I thought you said, hey, scratch out what I said. This is what it is." Tara and her mom. Lenny Mae got her demon extraction and is convinced that she is healed and she is moving real different.
Throwing out all the liquor.
Ooh,
I want that.
And making hoe cakes.
I said, well, I had to rewind that because I never heard that before.
Really?
I never heard that before.
Hoe cakes. So hoe cakes are basically like pancakes, but instead of using pancake mix, you use the cornbread mix. So it's like fried cornbread. Hoe cakes. At least from how my family does it.
Okay.
Hoe cakes.
Okay, with bacon butter? Bacon grease?
I should be so lucky. So yeah, she's convinced that her demon is gone, but of course Tara, in true Tara fashion, is not convinced by far. So she goes to her favorite person in this entire show, Lafayette, but he pulls his patrolling up and offers her a different perspective. Like, hey, I think she's doing pretty good.
You know, and he says, hey, you need to consider this. Lafayette's character is oh my goodness. His character it's just like he's there for comedy relief, and his character kind of makes other characters pivot. Have you noticed that?
Indeed. I mean, you got this big muscular human that is fluid and comfortable. You might want to straighten up.
I don't know if he's really fluid.
Move this storyline. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay.
But Lafayette, one of the scenes with him when he was with Vampire Eddie. And Eddie come and get him a drink. That was so funny for me. I was like, this fool spit that Merlot back in the glass. He's like, and Eddie goes like, this was like the funniest thing Eddie said other than calling that girl psychopath. I thought you said you go for Merlot.
You so silly.
I thought that was so funny. I thought you said you go for Merlot. Eddie really trying to get his swerve on. Lafayette is disgusted. You mentioned Eric earlier. In this episode, Erica kind of pops, not Erica, Erica. Eric pops up on Bill. And this is what makes me love Eric. Eric is a prick. Eric is just so arrogant. Bill comes home. Eric is in his house taking a bath with candles lit.
But booty ass naked. And didn't move, didn't.
Unaffected. Taking a bath. Eric ain't no short dude.
I would have been like, you need some company? Let's go.
It just really was like funny. Like, okay, not only are you in my house, uninvited, unannounced, but you literally made yourself at home. You didn't take a shower. You ran a whole bath and took the time to light candles.
Indeed.
The question is, how long were you there, Eric?
How long were you there? A good little minute. A little minute. And it's not like he didn't hear Bill come up, because Bill heard him.
Super hearing. You know you heard him, but you didn't care.
He's the sheriff.
And old sheriff. Not only are you in my house, unannounced taking a bath, now you want a favor? You want Sookie. You're like, oh my goodness. So I'm like, well, it's not like you can tell him no. Sam, in this episode, didn't have, I don't remember a whole lot about Sam. The only thing that kind of stuck out for me was him telling Andy Belfer that he was a naturist. And like, I'm so embarrassed about it. So, I don't really say anything. But yeah, so if you saw me naked, it's because that's how I grew up. I'm a naturist. Oh my goodness.
And then he also told this story about his family, and once a year he goes out in
whole narrative.
Or whatever. The lie was just coming out, and okay, even I was just like, oh, okay, I'm thinking that this is actually part of his backstory, or at least yes, he was lying, but it may still be part of his backstory. But look, Belfer, he went and he investigated. He never would have found that.
It's smarter than anybody would have thought.
But even still, like, who would even think that the man is a dog?
No one. Absolutely no one would think that. That was pretty much everything that stuck out for me in that particular episode. Anything else from you from that episode?
I really don't have my notes, so it all runs together. Like, in my mind, it all runs together, and so it's just kind of like,
that's the beauty of having seen it before. The beauty and the drawback of having seen it before. So episode 9, La Plaisir d'amour. Oh, and what do we say? The pleasure of love?
Yes.
Or love's pleasure?
Yes. I like love's pleasure.
Oh, that sounds kind of sexy.
Yeah.
Love's pleasure. I'm trying to give me some love's pleasure.
Ooh. That's sexy.
Look, okay. So on this particular episode, well, I guess at the end of 8, Sookie is attacked because she was summoned. Remember, she was summoned by Eric in the episode before to kind of help out with some business at Fantasia to find out who was stealing from Eric.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, she was attacked. That's right.
She was attacked. So when 9 opens up, there's this whole thing to where Sookie is being attacked by the person that is actually stealing from Eric, who turns out to be a vampire. So Bill comes to the rescue and kills the person that's trying to attack Sookie because, of course, Pam, she's sitting there watching it like it's a movie.
Both
Eric
of them.
is unaffected.
Both of them.
And I was like,
nah,
okay.
This man done stole money from you, and you're clearly mad, but you don't give a damn.
No,
you don't give a damn.
He's watching them kill Sookie. So Bill steps in, and instead of being like, "Oh, you saved the day," like, I don't see what you see in these humans, but I'm gonna have to report you to the magistrate. I thought that was so funny. Like, you want to punish him for his crimes.
By the way, do you remember that movie with Sissy Spacek when she's like a little witch or something, and the blood falls down on her? You remember that? You don't remember that? Oh, well, anyway, that scene right there was like a callback to that movie because it was just a whole bunch of blood on top of Sookie.
So, it was absolutely a lot.
It
was a whole lot.
And a little bit of what was that vampire's name?
Long Shadow or Long something.
She says a little bit of Long Shadow. She grabbed it between her breasts.
Pam is so nasty.
I thought Pam was gonna go for it.
Like, I'm starting to see what all of us is about. I like Pam. Pam,
and was mad when old boy walked into the room. She was mad.
She had that look of disgust on her face.
And it was almost like Sookie invited her. Like, okay, we can do this.
She is a stack house. Jason continuing to go down the rabbit hole with crazy Amy.
What are you doing in this episode?
It's like he kind of starts questioning her motivations a little bit, but then it's overshadowed by the fact that he's addicted to the V and he wants it. So, even though I feel like this is wrong, in fact, I know that this is wrong, we're going to go ahead and still drink from Eddie anyway. Like you said, him being ruled by his desires more than anything.
And was it this episode where he decides that he's going to feed Eddie the V and tries to hide it from Amy? Is it this episode?
Oh, the True Blood.
Yeah.
I feel like that was more so in 10.
In 10? Okay.
Yeah, in 10 he kind of goes in that direction and kind of hides it from her. I think in this episode, Sookie's also still being attacked or stalked or whatever because somebody murders her animal. That happens in this episode. Someone breaks in the house. I think kills the cat or something. So Sookie is just...
That was another good scene. And right before Bill was like, "Don't look up," and of course she looks up. It's a little cat.
Of course, you can't say don't turn around. You know, it's like,
And blood is everywhere.
It's absolutely graphic and disgusting. Cinematography was good though.
Now, for some reason, it made me say a whole lot more than a dead body. Like Grams was dead. It made me say "oh," but the dead cat made me say
Because who wants a dead cat on a ceiling fan? Like,
yeah, with the blood everywhere. Like you walked across a dead cat and it's stank.
So hanging from the ceiling and ceiling fans, you know, spin around. So never gonna get all that blood out because you don't even know where it all went.
She got nothing but blood in that house.
Oh, burn the whole house down. Burn the entire house down.
Get some insurance from it.
Like, I think in this episode I kind of started really, really liking Sam because he gives Tara the money to get her demons extracted or whatever. So I'm like, okay, you may not be in love with Tara, you know, and I'm certain she's not in love with you, but y'all have affection for one another. And I thought that was really sweet. I'm like, oh, Sam, you can't be a murderer. Not with this type of stuff you got going on.
Oh, so at this time you thought Sam was a murderer?
Because there was just too many things. At this point, you know, we don't know what Sam's true nature is. You know, he always is popping up, you know, at the most inopportune or opportune moment, however you want to look at it. So at this point, you know, with fresh eyes, I'm thinking Sam might be the killer.
I always knew he was a dog. And to me, if you're a dog, you can't be the killer. Like, I don't know why. I just, in my head, no, you can't be the killer because you're a dog.
It's like you just popping up in too many places for me. You know, like, I don't know. You got something going on. So, but I really, really loved how he, despite all Tara's craziness, still had affection for her. And deep affection.
Do you think it was affection, or do you think it was just I'm getting some and I just want some? Whenever Sookie turns me down, I want some.
Not necessarily. Only because if it were that, you know, beyond that moment, you wouldn't give a crap. Like, okay, I got what I got, you know, and fair exchange is never a robbery. You got off, I got off, we go about our business.
But to the point, well, you know, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
And maybe Sam is just a nice guy. Maybe that's it.
He was sweet for giving her that much money, because that's not a little bit.
Right, $800.
That's more than twice the amount that I gave my mom.
You got more demons than her. Oh, that's Miss Jeanette, baby. I'd have to put a cap in her ass. Woo, in episode 10.
But you know what? She went off. That wouldn't have surprised me. The fact that she had another job. Like, why would you think that woman lived in a school bus?
No, I ain't mad that you got another job. I'm mad that you got another job. You got on this work week. Like, I feel like you playing with me.
But why? Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't have jumped to those conclusions.
Well,
what would piss me off was her acting like she didn't know me.
Which lets me know you shady. You up to something. So if I was Sarah, the minute I would have saw that woman, it would have been on site. I'm diving on you. Because I feel like you're playing. I'm not thinking about you having to have a day job to support yourself. I'm not thinking about nothing that other than you pretending to be broke down hoodoo woman in the middle of the woods. No one's saying you can't have a 9 to 5, but you got this whole freaking not I can't even say gimmick, but just hustle. A whole hustle going.
A different kind of walk too. Yeah. She had a Carol Burnett walk. She walking with her ass, man. And a cane.
Right. So that's the thing. It's like, it's not that you can't get your 9 to 5 with your government benefits and stuff. You gotta live. And how much does it pay being out here in the woods once every 6 months for some sucker that file for this foolishness? No. Fine. You can have that, but no, you have a whole persona. You got something else going on. And you played with me. And then you're gonna try to justify it. And I know we went into 10, but that's cool. Like, oh, Jeanette. Oh, I had to run over her. She would have been rolled, killed. That'd have been one more demon that would have had to been extracted because I was.
Ain't nobody got to tell her nothing. Ain't nobody got to tell her nothing. She doing good, ain't she?
No, right. Well, for her mama, I hated that for Tara though, because she instantly started feeling better. You know, after she got drugged by Miss Jeanette.
But wait a minute. When Tara was going through her exorcism, you remember when Tara's body was convulsing? What was making her convulse like that?
The Ipecac or whatever it was, the drug.
Oh, okay.
It gave her convulsions.
Oh, okay. Explain that to me. I thought Tara was acting. Shit, I did. I ain't gonna lie.
Miss Jeanette drugged her, and she worked in a drugstore. I would have reported that bitch. You'll never work in this town again, huh? Never again. I'm mad. Oh man. So one of the last things from this episode for me, is Bill has to go and face the magistrate with Eric. After Eric and Pam and whatever the other guy is, they come into my lives or whatever. But he wants to tell Sookie goodbye. He goes to Sam. And is like, hey, can you please look out for her? Because we all know that Sookie does stupid shit. So can you please look out for her in my absence? Because I know that you genuinely care about her. I was like, man, you know, that was a really evolved thing to do. It really was. To go to the other man like, hey, look out for my girl. I'm gonna be gone for a while. I don't know how long, but I thought that was interesting. At the end of that episode, he asked him to look out, and then Sookie just, of course, in true Sookie fashion, runs off. Don't tell nobody. Goes home to look out for herself, even though somebody want to kill her. And when Sam finds out, he leaves, but
he turns into a dog. He turns into a dog and gets on her bed.
He turns into a dog, but he's still a gentleman even as a dog. Because she's like, "Oh, dog, you keep turning your head away." Like, bitch, that's Sam.
Oh, you knew then, huh? You knew.
Like, oh, you looking away. And so he makes the same mistake as a dog, falling asleep in the bed with her, and wakes up in full human form, butt naked in the bed with Sookie, and freaks Sookie out.
Did you touch me?
And scene. Like, Sookie, you ain't got nothing to offer nobody. Shut up.
But look, between Sam and Bill, I would have been all up on Sam. All up and through.
Sam is, he's attractive.
Especially when he's naked. Ooh.
Aren't we all? But I thought that was so funny. You lay down, you wake up, you got a butt naked ass man next to you. I'm sorry, your boss.
Yes.
After everything that you've experienced at Sookie, I ain't gonna lie, I would have been freaked out too.
What? I don't know. That's part of my dreams.
She ain't checking for Sam though.
It's just sex.
Huh? It's
just sex.
It is, but Sookie not built like that. And then she getting bust down by a vampire. Sam gonna be too gentle.
Well, he is a dog. You don't know.
Yes, his shape of choice to this point. It's the old faithful dog. And so, with that being said, episode 10, I don't want to know.
What's the title? I don't want to know.
I don't want to know.
Ooh, what happens in this episode?
Oh my goodness. In this episode, we open with a bang. Sam reveals his true nature to Sookie. She, of course, runs off whenever he's in her bed, but he follows her. But he represents himself, or manifests anyway, as a dog and shifts right in front of her. Like, hey, I'm not a murderer, but I am a shapeshifter. I could have handled it better if you told me you were a murderer. What's going on? Look, think about it. My boyfriend is a vampire. I can read minds, almost telepathic. And now you a shapeshifter? Like, what else is out here? And Sam's like, you don't want to know. And what I found funny was she mentioned something about werewolves. He got mad. And it was like, they're disgusting beasts. Well, aren't we species, Sam? The nerve of you. The nerve. So I thought that was funny. He has the nerve to be species.
And to think, like, a dog is just one step below a werewolf. I mean, a wolf.
Right.
I guess,
like, Sam, get out of here with that. Like, what have you seen in his lifetime? I don't want to know.
He's just a dog to me. I don't care. He's a shapeshifter, but he's a dog.
Looked like the easiest thing for him to shift into. But like, I felt him when he was saying, like, because I think she asked the question, like, why a dog? And he was like, most people like dogs. Dogs are friendly. It's just the easiest one to get by with. But I like as the seasons move along, how they get more into the shape shifting, and it gets really interesting.
It's been so long. I don't remember him shape shifting into anything else.
Well, you remember the brother? The brother comes along.
He has a brother?
Yes.
Ooh, it's been a long time. I don't remember that.
Yes. I don't want to spoil it, so we'll talk about it off camera. But yes, it gets interesting. At least it makes Sam get more interesting for me as the episodes move along. But so speaking of Sam, he's already in the previous episode giving Tiara the money to have this demon extracted, and Tiara decides she's gonna go for it. She moves forward, gets the demon extraction with Miss Jeanette, and like we discussed earlier, she rolls up on Miss Jeanette in the store, finds out that she has this job or whatever, and it just kind of shoots everything to hell from Tara, and she is no longer a believer, but she doesn't tell her mom that Miss Jeanette is a fake. Amy, Eddie, and Jason. My God. In this episode, Amy is increasingly brutal with Eddie, where you have Jason kind of empathizing with him quite a bit, and ultimately Amy kills Eddie.
I did not see that coming.
Right in front of her. You didn't see that coming?
No.
Oh, I saw it.
I mean, if you're a psychopath, I should have, but
I didn't see it coming that way, but I knew she was gonna do it. Because she was just being too nice. After Jason pretty much called her on it, and she felt like, okay, Eddie is winning Jason over, and I can't manipulate him like I need to.
That was going to be a polyamorous relationship right there. We're going to become one. I'm telling you.
She's like, oh, we can take Eddie on the road. You ain't trying to take Eddie on the road. You're trying to make Eddie road kill. You ain't trying to do that. Or just drink from him as much as you can. Get your fix and keep him just alive enough to where y'all can get what you need from him. So yeah, she kills poor Eddie. But Lafayette all the while is actually in search of Eddie because
he wants his V.
Yes, he wants his V. That's his push. Well, I can't even say his pusher, but his supplier. And they have an arrangement, but Eddie has been missing. So Lafayette confronts. This is pusher. Lafayette confronts Jason. Like, who did you tell? And I mean, Lafayette is just so muscular, rolling up on Jason. I think Lafayette is just the finest thing walking.
I was just about to say, I think you got another crush. It ain't just Eric Northman. It's Lafayette.
Yeah, Lafayette, baby. Lafayette me. Okay. But I love how he's always approaching Jason. And Jason always got the dumbest look on his face. So he approaches him all the while. Jason has poor Eddie along with crazy Amy before they killed him. So moving along. Oh, Bill in front of the magistrate toward the end of this episode. He has to meet with him to receive his fate for killing another vampire, which is explicitly against the rules. And the magistrate is notorious for being very, very harsh with his punishment. So for Bill's punishment, because they know that Bill wants to mainstream as much as possible, his punishment is to take a life. And this is where we meet Jessica, and we'll see more of her in the later episodes. So Bill has to take a life. That's his punishment, and there's no way around it, you know. So for Bill, I know for him that has to be a major setback because you want to be so human-like.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, it was probably done the best way possible. He was forced, you know, to turn someone, which is the exact opposite of what he wanted to do. But it was probably, you know, the best way that we would allow the main character, well, the main male character, to turn someone. I also think it was a smart choice to have Jessica be 17 because she could be youthful and it not make Sookie look so bad. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because if you juxtapose the two characters, Sookie is not as rash or dim-witted as the 17-year-old is. I
don't know, because a lot of Sookie's behaviors give me rash, dim-wit, nitwit, all the wits except the ones that make you smart. So I think the difference is Sookie has this. Oh,
guess who this is?
Oh my goodness! Here we go.
I don't want to answer it right now.
So I'll be the other woman. Wait your turn. But I forgot what I was going on about. But Sookie's ability, I feel like, gives her an air of maturity because having that kind of gift that can't be easy to steward. So I think the types of things that Jessica ultimately ends up doing and getting into is not that far off from the type of stuff Sookie would do. The difference is Sookie has not been made a vampire. She does a bunch of random stuff though, just like running into the parking lot with the rat trays or whoever they are, like just a lot of impulsive things.
I think Sookie thinks she is the star of the show, and because she's the star of the show, nothing will happen to her.
I don't disagree. But I don't want to know. I thought that was a really interesting title for this episode. I love it.
Touche. I don't want to know.
More to come as we close out season 1 in these next couple episodes.
Yes. Thank you all so very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Y'all have a good one.